Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I realized that my neighbors are actually starting to work on their lawn, so I do apologize if you hear that. I kid you not, every other day this week has been silent. The one day that I choose to actually film the video and am able to have the time, they want to work on the lawn. So, welcome to September summary video where I talk about the things that I've read in September. I've read 3 books this month. I was in kind of a reading slump. I think it was just last month's books that I felt like I had to finish and read for the video, and it just kind of really threw me off my game. The first book of the month that I finished is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. This one is basically about a mom who is a scientist turned chef on a TV show, but who stays true to her scientific ways. I really enjoyed this one actually. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it was very fun. The only thing that got me sometimes were like the timeline of things and a little bit of the different points of views, but to be honest, it wasn't all that bad to follow through, which is why it still stayed an 8.5 out of 10. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. Sometimes doing these review videos are really hard because I want to talk about what happened and I want to spoil stuff, but I can't. So I don't know, I was thinking maybe if you guys would like, I could do a second video of the same reviews but like actually going further into them and kind of talking about the spoiled stuff and like leave timestamps basically of what book is which, so that way if you do watch that one, you're not spoiling the book for yourself. You guys are gonna have to... I would recommend this to anyone who's looking for more of a fun read. I did honestly find this book very fun. I thought the characters in it were pretty unique and I loved how smart she was and how she like fought for her stuff. It was really frustrating to read, but the end of it was very satisfying. Kind of expected, honestly. I'm not gonna say I was like, whoa, that was like such a twist, because it really wasn't. I was honestly like, I knew that at the end. But anyways, 8.5 out of 10 would recommend. I think it's a very fun read and something that you should pick up. The second book I read, I honestly didn't like look too much into this book. This was The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides or Eugenides. This book was about a group of sisters who are depressed, and it's not really like, I'm not really spoiling anything. This is what they do. So it's pretty interesting from the perspective that it's being told in by the neighbors across the street. So it's very like little boy mentality. They're talking about them as like objects rather than people. They're infatuated with them, and that's pretty much as far as their love for them goes. And so I thought that was a pretty fun little twist on it, because if they were to tell this from like an adult perspective, which they kind of did by introducing like a character as a reporter and like what she would say throughout her articles and stuff, but from the little boys' perspectives is almost innocent in a way, because they don't really know what's going on as much as these little girls don't know what's going on, because they're so young when they're doing this. It's just an interesting take, and I actually really enjoyed the book. And unfortunately there are some racist remarks. I don't know why we have to include that in books, especially in a book from 1993. I didn't understand the need for that. It did nothing for the plot. It was literally just like a little like jab here and there. I didn't know that was in there, so that's why I'm telling you now, especially because the last video had 2 books that had the N-word in there and other racist tones. I don't want you guys to think that I'm purposely reaching to read these books. These are just books that are pretty popular and nobody discusses those aspects of them. So this is me telling you that this book does have that. The book itself is decent. I rated this a 6 out of 10. The final book that I read, which was my favorite book of the month, I actually ate this up in less than 24 hours. It was also a short book, but I feel like after all of the reads that I had, I needed a little like poorly written romance, you know what I mean? But I've also been working in my faith as a Christian, so I have been trying to veer away from too many romances that, let's face it, are very explicit. So I did some research because I wanted a Christian based book. There are closed door romances also, by the way, just as a heads up, but I wanted one that was actually Christian based. If you are not a Christian, then this might not be your cup of tea, which is fine. I respect your opinions as long as you respect mine. But I will be talking about a Christian book that actually does have the faith as the center of the relationship. So this book that I read is called The Game She Hates by Ella Marie. The book itself is about a hockey player who is not a man of God, but he meets a psychologist who is a woman of God, and they get together. For him, it's very superficial at first, but then he's like, I don't know, I would do anything for her. And then she's like, I can't do that anymore, God, because last time I was with someone and they weren't focused on you, like it didn't end up well for me. And so basically they're both having like inner turmoil, and they're both fighting their chemistry for one another. It was very cute. It had me like giggling. It just reminded me of what I want in a future relationship. So I don't know, I was very like, in one part of the book, I was texting my friend because I was like, I'm reading this book and I am so enamored with like this feeling of wanting a relationship. And then maybe 10% passed when I had texted her. One of the older women characters, she's talking to these groups of girls for a bachelorette party, and she's basically telling them, this love may look really good for you, but know that there's nothing better than understanding that your season of singleness is important, and it's placed by God. It's intentional. It's not meant for like you to be lonesome and wanting to be with someone. It's meant for you to find who you are as a person first and grow your faith with Christ. Later on, when he gives you the man of your dreams, it's gonna feel that much more special because you have the God of your dreams and you have the man of your dreams now too, who is also a man of God. It was very reassuring, and I love that the author did that because it's very easy to be wrapped up in this mentality, especially reading romance books, that you're kind of like, I want to be with someone. Kill me, shoot me, I just want a man to hug me, you know? And so, I don't know, I thought it was very reassuring that she put that in there, and I really, really appreciated it. And that just goes to show you that these books are very intentional. I rated this a 9 out of 10, only because I feel like it could have been just a little more descriptive, just in general from like a writer's perspective. Some readers do actually prefer that kind of more of an ambiguous thing because it lets them play in their mind how they want everything set up. I like to be told what I'm thinking about. But content-wise, storyline, plotline, very solid book. Would recommend reading, especially if you were trying to kind of clean up your romance a little bit. Okay, so that was it. Very short and simple books to review. I feel like these aren't really like analytical books. If you wanted to, you probably could do it with this one, but I don't want to. If you were to pick a book out of this pile to read, it's actually a good question. They all serve their own purpose, so I can't really like confirm one's better than the other. If you're looking for a fun little in-between book that doesn't really tie you down too much like emotion wise, pick up Lessons in Chemistry. If you're looking for kind of a more somber read, The Virgin Suicides. If you're looking for a clean romance, then The Game She Hates. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, week, month, life, and I will see you on the next video. On the next video, you're gonna be sitting on top of the video. I will see you in the next video where you come and sit right next to me. Dude, there's a helicopter going on right now. Yeah, this video's gotta end. Bye.